This podcast is sponsored by FortuneFavours.ie. FortuneFavours.ie is a home workout equipment store and your one-stop shop for all home gym equipment. They are well known for their adjustable dumbbells, which combine 15 different weights in one dumbbell. They have both 24 kg and 40 kg adjustable dumbbells. Check the link in the bio of this episode for more information. So, welcome back to the podcast. I'm here with John McMahon, host of the JMac Podcast, just to discuss this weekend's action between Cavan and Westmeath, of course, in the Tailteann Cup Final. John's a Cavan man, so he will be buzzing for that game, I'm hoping. And you have Galway against Derry as well in the semi-final that same day. Great doubleheader in Croke Park. And, of course, Dublin and Kerry, though, needs no introduction as to how big a game that is. That's an unbelievable game. 3 brilliant games to look forward to, all in Croke Park. I suppose, first of all, John, how are you keeping? Looking forward to going up to Croke Park on Saturday with Cavan. Third time being Croke Park, that's so much even for Cavan.
Yeah, well, man, thanks a million for having me on your show. I'm delighted to be on, and God, you do unbelievable work. I don't know how you find all the time to do it. Your stats are incredible, so fair play, my man, keep it all up. But look, again, I'm really looking forward to it now. This Saturday, I think it's a huge chance for Cavan to, probably right a few wrongs, especially after the last game, as you rightly said. 3 appearances in Croke Park. Anytime you have that in 1 year, it's impressive stuff. And I suppose, as I was saying to you off air, at the start of the year, I suppose, Division 4 setting off the year, you probably would have been, get to the final of it. We knew it was going to be Croke Park, so we were definitely guaranteed one Croke Park appearance. And then obviously the way this Tailteann Cup has lined out, the semi-finals are going to be Croker, so lo and behold, played Sligo a couple of weeks ago, bet them. So with the final this weekend, so it's uncharted territory for Cavan fans to be going up to Croke Park 3 times. So it'd be brilliant. And I was saying to Aaron earlier on, I just think it's brilliant because we were locked away for so long. 2020 was such a long 2 years, and with no games, we couldn't do anything. So I think we really have to cherish these times, look forward to it, live in the moment. Croke Park, you're maybe looking at 50,000-60,000 being in Croke Park, maybe 20,000 for the Cavan Westmeath game. So it's you just have to look forward to it. And by God, we waited so long for games to come back, to meet people, to get the chance for it all, Matty. So buzzing for it.
Absolutely. Even the quarterfinals a few weeks back were unbelievable occasions. The semi-finals of the Tailteann Cup were absolutely brilliant for them counties to get to Croke Park as well. And while we're on the Cavan and Westmeath game, that's the game we're going to start with 3 o'clock on RT2 live in Croke Park. Obviously, this is a big game. Cavan have done well enough this year. Only lost to Donegal, in fact, and Tipperary in the league as well. But some very good results from Cavan. And for Westmeath, what a performance in the semi-final against Offaly. So Cavan might be favourites for this game, but Westmeath will not give it easy whatsoever.
Yeah, no, definitely won't. In fairness, though, I was really impressed by Westmeath in the semi-final. I think a lot of people don't realise how good they are. And in fairness, a couple of weeks, all week, a lot of people have been kind of telling me probably Westmeath might get over the line because they really do kind of tip them to win. So look, it'll be a very, very tight game. And we can't get away from the fact that Westmeath with some absolutely brilliant forwards. We know about the power and strength of John Heslin up top. He could kick 7-8 points on a good day, and that's, of course, if you're not giving him the attention that he deserves, which we hopefully should be doing on Saturday. And obviously Rowan O'Toole, Luke Loughlin, they're absolutely brilliant footballers. Luke Loughlin's having a brilliant year so far. So look, it's a big ask for the Cavan lads, in fairness. And I was saying we're blessed probably that we had the 3 weeks to work on defensive issues, because there definitely was a couple of defensive issues against Sligo. We let them in for a lot of goal chances. So if Westmeath get the goal chances like we got the last day out, I think we could be in a lot of bother. So no doubt Mickey Graham and Ricey and the boys were, planning accordingly for any of that kind of nonsense. I suppose a chance to happen in the game. So I think the week, couple of bit of break from it has definitely, hopefully, done us the world of good. But again, the Cavan camp has been very quiet since the Sligo game. There hasn't been much talk, so maybe it's a good thing. So, but it's going to be a tight game against a very good Westmeath team.
Absolutely. And I suppose looking at the defence for Cavan, you talked about the defence. They need a few weeks to get sharp for this game against Westmeath. You've only had an average concession rate of 112 both in the Tailteann Cup and in overall. But I saw the Sligo game as well. Niall Murphy, a lot of them guys got in for loads of goal opportunities. But your point is, if Westmeath get in for them goal opportunities, they will take them.
Yeah, no, 100%, my man. Like, I really do feel that. Like, and I think, look, I suppose, don't get me wrong, some of the Sligo full forwards are brilliant. Like, Pat Hughes, I think Pat's recently retired, or was Murphy's retired from the Sligo scene. Sean Carbine had a serious goal chance, and obviously Patrick O'Connor inside there as well. So, look, they are very good forwards, but I feel Westmeath's forwards, Heslin, Luke Loughlin, them boys have absolutely blistering pace. Heslin's a fantastic finisher, so I really do feel like if Westmeath can have the chances like we did get, we could be in a spotter bother. But you really do think, and I said a couple of seconds ago, that we, last couple of weeks we have been working on that kind of stuff, and no doubt the boys have. But no, I think it'll be a very stiff test. It'll be a very stiff test, and obviously a lot of people the opinion on the game is very split. Like, a lot of people saying Westmeath, a lot of people saying Cavan at the Rees, and maybe Westmeath aren't that good, but I really do feel Westmeath are definitely a big outfit, a good outfit. And we played them only a couple of times. I think we played them in 2014 qualifier a few years ago, played them in 2020 league. So not overly familiar with each other. Maybe that's a good thing. But it's going to be a stiff test and tighter than a lot of people think.
And you talk about the scoring traits that Westmeath have, like John Hazen, we've talked about him so many times. What a player he is. 231 overall in the whole championship. What an achievement by him. And not just John Hazen, you also have Ronan O'Toole from centre forward. He scored 210. Sam McCartan's really come into his own at the Tailteann Cup. He scored 111 overall in 2022. Luke Loughlin as well with 11 points. And Larkin Dolan, obviously, with him 2 goals the last time against Offaly. Like, it's not just John Hazen that's banging on form for Westmeath, and that has to be a worry for Cavan as well, that other forwards for Westmeath are stepping up.
Yeah, no, and I suppose the variety of scores for them is so impressive. And I know one thing from our point of view, and obviously I think you were putting up various stats during the Cavan Sligo game. We had a lot of various different scores in the first half against Sligo, so that's obviously very good. But as you were rightly saying there, like when you have the likes of, I'll just go into the Westmeath program here, when you have the likes of Heslin doing so well, Larkin Dolan, Luke Loughlin, Sam McCartan, Ronan O'Toole, David Lynch, Ray Kennellan kind of coming from midfield as well. Like, so that's that's a lot of fires to put out. Like, if them boys do get firing, in fairness, Matt. So it'd be very difficult for like a lot of them Cavan kind of backs to kind of maybe curtail them to a degree. So like they'll definitely have a day's work kind of done. And like I was saying to Aaron earlier on, whoever comes out the right side of this result will have a very, very good day's work done, because look, there's quality in both teams. Tomas Gallagher, Grove McCarran, Paddy Lynch, absolutely brilliant players for Cavan in the last couple of years. So look, I really do think it's a 50-50 game, but you're kind of hoping for a bit of a shootout as well.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is who will go on John Hazen. Now, according to match programs and whatnot, it'll be Pádraig Faulkner. Like, do you think Faulkner is the guy to quieten down Hazen, or do you think someone else will go on?
Yeah, like I suppose that's the $1 million question at the minute. And I said during this Sligo game a couple of weeks ago, like I said, that Jess McLaughlin had a brilliant game, but it's hard to know, do we kind of need, like I said, Pádraig Faulkner does like kind of drifting up the pitch. He does like kind of contributing on the scoreboard, so he can kind of he doesn't mind getting up the pitch. So he might have to sacrifice that end of things if he is going to have to mark Heslin. You could say Jason McLaughlin as well likes kind of getting up the pitch, but by God, he can man mark someone. And just on a side note, what a servant he's been to Cavan on the bounce for the last 10 years consistently. But look, you could really say McLaughlin or Faulkner, but I really do feel I'd say Faulkner probably will go on him. Just mind the house and stick to him like glue, because look, he scored some absolutely outrageous points against Offaly in the semi-final. Like I know he wasn't being tightly marked, but God, when he gets going, his right foot is just majestic to watch. So look, whoever's going to be marking Heslin, I do not begrudge it.
And you look at Cavan's range of scores, we talk about Westmeath, but Cavan's is nearly even better, the range of scores. 17 different scores throughout across the Tailteann Cup and the overall All-Ireland Championship as well. Superb. And when you look at the score list as well, 5 of them are above 10 points. That includes the likes of George Smith as well, Thomas Gallagher, Paddy Lynch, of course, Gareth McKieran, and Raymond Gallagher, who does a lot of work in the goalkeeping department as well, going up to 45s. Like, that has to be big for Cavan coming into the game as well.
Oh no, yeah, like it definitely has, and like I suppose that's where probably our strengths do lie. Obviously, having Ray Gallagher in between the sticks, he's a great shot stopper, but by God, he can kick 45s, he can kick frees, and he's been very, very pivotal to that. And he had a great game against Down in the Tailteann Cup. He was brilliant, like double saved the penalty. He's had a great Tailteann Cup altogether. He's been an unbelievable servant to Cavan Cup as well, my due. But he's been brilliant. Jared Smith the last day was very good. He can kick some worldies of points. He loves an outside the foot point. No doubt we'll be seeing that this Saturday in Croke Park once again. He's been brilliant. Jerry's very, versatile. You could probably play wing back, wing forward. He could probably do a job for you, maybe everywhere bar midfield. He's a brilliant player. So he's been contributing on scoreboard. Martin Riley there as well. Hopefully contribute. He's been on the bounce. He's a great man to set up a goal or a point. So lots of scorers here. Conor Brady as well from Galway. Conor, he had a great game against Sligo. He was up and down the field. Kieran the Holla Brady, I'm hoping and pray to God he's fully fit for Saturday as well, because he got a bad injury last year, so that kind of ruled him out for a while. So you're kind of hoping he's top of the pops for the weekend. Will need to be top of the pops. Grode, I suppose, look, Grode got man of the match against Sligo, but my man of the match probably would have been Jason Glockton. As I said, I think he had a brilliant game. Grode maybe got the man of the match, obviously, for the points he probably kicked, but generally from the whole game, I'd say Jason probably was. But Grode, look, no doubt the pressure will be on him Saturday to put in a big performance, and hopefully he will. Paddy Lynch, a lot of people kind of saying he's had a quiet Tailteann Cup, but Paddy Lynch was so well marked in Sligo. Maybe could have let rip against Fermanagh, but look, that's a hard place to go as well. He played already against Down, but I think from general play, Lynch has been very impressive in the last couple of plays. Maybe he hasn't scored as much, but he's been setting up as much. But look, if he could catch fire Saturday, and Lynch could put in another man of the match performance again. So look, there's an array of attacking options, and as I said at the start, it could be a great kind of fist fight.
And I suppose the midfield battle as well, which I'm intrigued by as well. You have Thomas Galligan, who was an all-star, obviously, in 2020, outstanding player.
Yeah.
And Raymond Connellan as well. What a player he is, so athletic, former AFL player.
Yeah.
Like, the battle between them two players is really intriguing.
Oh yeah, I suppose the factor after mentioning it there, if that does transpire, that would be an unbelievable battle. And obviously, it's like anything else, but man, whoever wins the midfield battle normally wins the game. So Ray Connellan, oh man, what a player! I was talking to Chris just at Christmas there, and he was I suppose doubting his future with the Westmeath footballers, but I think he's obviously bought in for the year ahead, and he's flying with them by all accounts. So look, Galligan v Connellan, that could be a juicy battle. And of course, you've James Smith from Cavan in the midfield as well. So and he could be picking up Jonathan Lynham. So that could be intriguing. But Ray v Tomas, that would be brilliant. And if you want to be the best, you got to pit yourself against the best. And they're probably two of the most, wouldn't even say young, they're probably coming into their prime now. One of the more exciting players to watch in the GA, just getting up down the pitch. We will need a big performance from Tomas Galligan as well. He was very good against Sligo the last day. A great game against Fermanagh. I think Tomas will need to be flying for this Saturday. And obviously, if he's going to be on Ray Connellan, that could take up a lot of his attention too. So the matchups, coming into it, my man, are very, very exciting.
And I suppose before getting into a prediction, I want to actually get your thoughts on the Tailteann Cup overall, because on the outside, it looked like Down were probably the only team that didn't take it seriously. The rest of them kind of did. Maybe there's an argument for Tipperary losing to Carlow as well. But Cavan, for example, best team coming into it, took it very seriously. Like, how's the Tailteann Cup done, in your opinion? Like, has it been a success, or do you think it's been, a bit overrated by people? Because on the outside, I think it's been absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, look, that's it. Like, and I suppose when a couple of weeks ago, when this was all released, and the players had their media day in Croke Park, and look, it's like anything else. People always like having a bit of a joke, but I suppose the PR media around it wasn't maybe overly brilliant. And I suppose I know people make the joke with the T shape in Croke Park and bits and pieces like that, and maybe there should be a bit more of everything done in various bits. But look, I suppose it's hard to keep everyone happy, but generally, I think the competition probably has been a success, because really has given the weaker counties a chance to, fight for silverware. If Offaly nearly had a chance of getting to the ladder into competitions, you have Leitrim's, your Carlows, your Sligo's, so it's given them a really good chance. And you're really hoping next year and for years ahead that it does stay about, these counties do take the competition seriously. I think the big thing is as well, a lot of these counties keeping their players on board, not going to America, not going to Australia, wherever they may find themselves, keep the players on board and playing in the competition, buying in, because obviously Cavan, they bought into it. No players have gone travelling, and look, we're into the final of it now, same as Westmeath. So you need to have the buy-in, keep players around after the provincial championship if they get knocked out of it. So look, you need player buy-in, you need interest from the supporters, and generally I honestly think it has been a success. there was good number of supporters at the Sligo game up at Croke Park. There'll be lots of Cavan fans going again on Saturday. So obviously Westmeath fans. So I honestly think it has been a success, keeping lads about, getting buy-in. So long may it continue, because I think it's so good that ourselves, everyone else, you see Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all just keeps promoting it, keeps the interest going. Like, that's the best way to keep anything going. You need to keep the spirit alive, like, in amongst it. And so far, so good, I feel.
Definitely. And I suppose the prediction on this game, do you think we'll be confident as a Cavan man that you'll get the Tailteann Cup?
Yeah, look, that's what I suppose you wouldn't want to kind of overrate the honor, but yeah, you really would like to think we can get over the line. Don't get me wrong, we know about the strengths the Westmeath do have, but I think hopefully we should have enough maybe on the bench. If shit's hitting the fan, for want of a better phrase, we should have lads to get us over the line. A bit of experience from the likes of Ray Galligan, Mark Riley, kind of been there, done that in a lot of big games. So look, as I said, Darren, earlier on, we've been in these positions so many times: under 21 Ulster finals, under 20 All Ireland finals, semi-finals, even big games in senior championships. So really, look, we've been here down this road many times. Let's just hope we can finish the job. It'll be a battle. It'll be a big battle. As I said at the start, whoever wins this game will have a big day's work done. So look, you're hoping for the big W, bring the inaugural cup down the road. It'd be brilliant. So hopefully Cavan in a very, very tight affair. And look, I suppose a lot of people would be saying Westmeath, but hopefully we should have enough. And the experience of past glories, or past you could probably say past failings, or maybe past run-ins with different teams should get us over the line. And just, it'd be great, because we've a bit of a reputation maybe for not doing things easy down here, or just kind of making life hard for ourselves. But hopefully it's a good day for the boys in blue. We'll get over the line.
Yeah, it'll be a very, very tight game. Cavan favourites going into the game, but I'm going to back Westmeath. I just think the forwards for Westmeath are just
you're bang on. Yeah,
I just think the forwards will make a big difference. Ray Cannell and Thomas Galligan, as we mentioned earlier, whoever wins that, I think will have a stronghold on the game. Like, that'll be very big. But I'm going Westmeath, you're going Cavan. We'll have to see now, live at 3 o'clock. You're very nervous, yeah?
I think so, my man. I think so. Look, as you rightly said there, I think that the Westmeath, Luke Loughlin, John Hessel, Lorcan Dolan, like Ronan O'Teal, Sam McCartan, like in fair, and Ray Cannell coming from midfield. Like, I think, like, God, a lot of counties in Ireland would worry about them 5-6 players, my man. So look, I think there is definitely a room for a cause for concern in amongst a lot of them players. So look, yeah, I think you couldn't be nothing but, because there's a lot of fires to put out if them boys do get going. Look, I think Cavan should have enough to win, but look, they'll have a big day's work ahead of them. They'll know that themselves. But yeah, you definitely would be a bit nervous, 100%. Yeah.
It'll be a huge game for both counties going to Croke Park as well, and to win the inaugural Tailteann Cup, what an achievement for either of them sides to win it. I suppose we're into the All-Ireland semi-finals now, the All-Ireland series. Galway against Derry, 5:30 on Saturday evening, live both on RT2 and Sky Sports Arena. Like, I don't know about you, John, I'm so intrigued by this. Even I was on Aaron's podcast as well a few weeks ago, even talking about this game. And this game, like the matchups, the stories behind the two counties, like Derry haven't got to a semi-final since 2004. Galway, it's only their second since 2002. Like, this has the potential to be a titanic battle.
Oh yeah, look, what more can you say about it? I suppose obviously the journey both teams are on, and the battle that Galway got through against Armagh a couple of weeks ago. We know all about the backlash face, and the journey that Derry and Rory Gallagher's on, and it's just two great stories. And look, from the outset, I suppose my prediction coming in early, I really do fancy Derry this weekend. I just don't think their journey's going to end anytime soon. I think they really are on the crest of a wave, and like that was a frighteningly good performance against a pretty good Clare team. Let's not forget, like, they blew them out of the water. 5-12, 5+, like 5 goals in any game of football is a tremendous bit of stuff. And they don't get wrong. I know Clare switched off for a large parts of that game. Derry got in handy enough, but I really do fancy Derry this year. And it's hard to see a team that so far, based on form, is going to stop them. Really, it could prove wrong maybe in the final end of things, but they've been seriously impressive. Conor Glass is just having the year of his life, and Shane McGuigan is just shooting lights out as well. So I really do feel we're in for another battle. Obviously Galway and things, like to get over the line in that absolutely ferocious battle against Armagh, like, and to get over the line in penalties any day of the week, you'd be happy enough. Hard to believe we're saying penalties in GA. God, we scratch our heads over that. But Galway, they'll fully believe they can get to an All-Ireland final. Pádraig Joyce managing them. He fully believes these boys can get over the line, and no doubt, obviously, when you have the quality of the likes of Shane Walsh, Damien Comer, and Paul Connery coming from midfield, McDade and Finnerty, lots and lots of talent. So look, it will be very, very good game. But I just have maybe a soft spot, whatever, for Derry this year, because like I just think Gallagher's he's just a genius, Matt.
Yeah, I've been to 2 Derry games myself. The game against Clare, obviously, I came in late, but still one outstanding performance. And what struck me about Derry, actually, they were so far ahead against Clare, and they still played the 15 men behind the ball. And once they turned the ball over, quick counter-attack. They've done that nearly every game. They did it against Cork and Owen Begg as well. Like, they're so impressive. They almost remind me of Donegal, like around 2011, 2012. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. Like, and yeah, like I suppose when you contrast it, like Donegal were really coming up through the ranks in 2011. All-Ireland semi-final against Dublin, just near missed, poor game Croke. But look, that was them knocking on the door. Look what they done the year after. Will that be Derry this weekend? We'll wait and see. But Jim McInnes, he done unbelievable work with the Donegal lads. But there is definitely comparisons there. 2 Ulster teams, play a similar style of football. Even when, like I said earlier on, like when a Derry lad gets a score or wing back, whatever it is, because obviously, of course, the wing backs can knock the ball over as well, but they just rush back into positions. It's like a military operation. Get back, run together, tackle together, score together, just absolutely everything. So look, they've been the standout team in the championship this year, make no doubt about it. So. Yeah, it could be a Derry, it could be a wave of red and white floating about Croke Park on Saturday night and into the late hours as well, because they're just looking very, very impressive, and there is definitely comparisons with that Donegal team in 11 and 12, and just every player knows his role. Every player knows his role. They all know what to do. They know where to be, what to do every particular time. So yeah, Gallagher has them moving extremely well. I think it was Ryan McCluskey was telling me earlier on that I think, like every weekend before a game, Rory has them in training camps, or he has them in nights away playing various teams. And yeah, he just fully believes. I think, look, if you're talking to Rory tomorrow morning, he'd probably tell you that he fully believes they can win it All Ireland this year. That's how confident the man is. I've watched media work with him before. I watched the podcast he done with Paddy Andrews and Andy Bourne last November, October, and he just looks like a man that could tell you what you're going to be doing with your life in about 10 or 15 years. He just has that sort of aura about him. But yeah, no, he knows the crack, and I think he fully believes Derry can win an All-Ireland this year.
It's interesting you mentioned Rory Gallagher, because actually Chris McCaig, my podcast, it was actually during lockdown though, I think around April 2021, and this time now Derry were Division 3. They were even before the Division 3 final against Offaly, where they performed pretty well in that game in Croke Park. And he genuinely believed that this was going to take time under Rory Gallagher. Yeah. And he was saying as well, he said the exact same thing to Jay, as he said on my podcast as well. He didn't realise what situation Derry were in before he came in. And once he got them, with the mindset that they could win Ulster, they could challenge for All Irelands, they've done it. And Chrissy McCaig has been absolutely brilliant as well. I think he's conceded 1 point from play from his markers so far. Unbelievable achievement from Chris McCaig and the whole team from Derry.
And look, I suppose this we forget as well, Rory Gallagher was involved in then Donegal teams in 11 and 12 as well, man. So look, he knows all about getting the team from the absolute doldrums and getting them to the Ulster titles and All Ireland titles. So he knows what it takes, and it's kind of like a blueprint for this Derry team. But no, Chrissy McCaig, oh man, like, is there an early better fullback in Ireland at the minute? You'd probably go a long way to find one. He's an absolutely terrific man marker, goes about his job in such a quiet and professional manner. He's been brilliant for Derry, such a leader. I've been around the block a long time, and he's a dual player for Slotneil as well. So I don't know how he finds time to even scratch himself. So he's been fantastic. And obviously Brendan Rodgers as well. So look, they're an all-star form really at this stage, you could say, for a lot of the Derry boys. We'll see it Saturday. That'll probably be the seal and deal for them. But yeah, Chrissy, he's been exemplary really for club and county. He's been brilliant, and no doubt he have a big task on his hands with Damien Comer this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've talked about Derry a lot. They've been absolutely brilliant. But I just think, I said it on Aaron's podcast a few weeks ago as well, I think Galway are going under the radar a small bit. Like they've only lost to one team in all competitions this year, Roscommon, and one of those where Galway were putting out a second string team in the league. They beat Derry by 11 points in the league as well, and big, let's not forget. Like their midfield has been outstanding in Killy McDade and Paul Conroy. Their forward, like Robert Finnerty's another lad who's gone under the radar. Galway are a team to be feared as well.
No, you're 100% right. You're absolutely right. But I just feel, I don't know what it is about, I suppose it maybe is Gallagher's or the way it was on, but I really do feel every team Derry's played, and Gallagher's probably the kind of fella who probably already has plans to like Dublin and Kerry. I'd say he studies the players inside and out, gives the Derry lads homework to do, to watch the Galway lads, even watch the Kerry and Dublin lads even to a degree. But it's just like he has the inside information on all the players. So I just feel there's another big performance coming from Derry and Rory, and like, you know, this Saturday is going to prove no different. And I just really do feel he probably have a plan for Walsh, Comer and the boys, McDade, Finnerty, all of them, because look, the way Derry's performing at the minute, it just, as I said at the start, they all know what to do, to have all the plans in place, and you know, they stick to that operation. But look, Galway, blessed with talent, but they really will need to see Shane Walsh at his very, very best this weekend. Walsh he done his best in a dirty kind of a no situation against Armagh. Obviously, James Morgan made life very difficult for him. And obviously, Damien Comer inside. I think Comer, look, it's an All-Ireland semi-final. He can't be getting involved in any nonsense. Don't get me wrong. I know the Armagh lads will be trying to stifle him a bit, but I think this Saturday, he'll have to be very different. I think the Derry lads will play ball. There's not much dirt in the Derry lads, so I think McCaig or Rogers will definitely give him a good game of it. So I think Comer will need to be top of the pops. Walsh will need to be hitting the very highest of heights he can for Saturday if Galway have any chance. So, look, matchup wise, players wise, man, it's going to be a great game.
And speaking of matchup wise, I'm looking at the midfield battle because Conor Glass, as you mentioned earlier, has been outstanding. But Galway's two midfielders, Conroy and McDade, have been superb. And even I rewatched the league game before we came on air here, and Galway's midfield were way over Derry's midfield in that game. Do you think Galway have an advantage there in midfield, or do you think Conor Glass will sort that out?
Yeah, I suppose that's an intriguing one because, like, I think with Conor Glass and Paul Conroy, I think Conroy's obviously in his early 30s now, and it just feels like Glass, obviously, what is he, 23, 24 years of age? He done his stint in Australia, and Glass is in all-star form. He did a fantastic game against Clare, the good old championship as well. So I think Glass probably, he can nearly handle, looks like a fella that could probably handle any situation, and you take him to war which any day of the week, and Gallagher's blessed to have him back playing great football for Derry. So I really do feel like Glass can give ask Conroy a lot of questions this weekend, and he could well get the better of him. And Galway, if they have any chances weekend, Conroy will need to be cleaning out midfield. So look, that's going to be an intriguing battle itself, but I really do feel that Glass can get potentially the better of him because that man's playing the football of his life.
Definitely so. And a key component of the Galway TV is Sean Kelly at full back. Now, he got back from suspension after getting sent off against Armagh. I don't know what he did in the Melee, to be honest with you. Aidan Nugent got sent off as well. God knows what he did to deserve a red card in that game. But I'd be guessing you think he deserves to be let off that red card and deserves to be playing this Saturday.
Yeah, big man. Look, really, when you look at that Melee and the like, don't get me wrong, Tailteann Kelly, like he done the eye gouge, but really, and you know yourself as well as anyone, it was a lot of handbag stuff, barring the eye gouge, man. There wasn't a whole pile in, the whole incident, really, when you look at it. A lot of maybe frustration, push and shoving, but I know there was a lot of temper there, but no, there wasn't a whole pile in it, really, when you look at it. And maybe a couple of slaps in the wrist here and there, but barring the eye gouge, you could really just say it was like something you'd see in an under-10s game, realistically, my man. And it was the stage of the game, neither team knew what was going to happen, it's going into extra time, whatever. So look, that was the situation. But no, he should, dead right, he should be playing 100%. How the officials came up with to send him off, and I always forget, Aidan Nugent sent off as well, the two captains, it just made zero sense, absolutely zero sense. So no, common sense prevailed for once in the GA. He's rightly playing. Galway have the full deck of cards. Let's bring him Saturday.
Absolutely. And you'll be predicting a Derry win. You're pretty confident that Derry
win. I just think so, and don't get me wrong, I do have a bit of a soft spot for Galway. Don't get me they're littered with talent. They're a nice footballing county. They always were. You can always remember the Joyces and of this world, Michael Meehan's, and a great footballing tradition in Galway. But I just feel this Derry juggernaut I could be proved wrong Saturday, like sometimes I am, but I just think this Derry juggernaut's going to continue, and I just feel it's going to continue on Saturday night, my man.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Derry are very good, and I've seen them up close so many times this year against Cork and against Clare in the quarter final. But I just think Galway, they're going under the radar. I think their defence has improved. Kieran Malloy's been superb. Yes, Colin Sweetie, he's suspended now, but still they have some options as well. Tom Culhan to come off the bench, he has something to prove as well. So I'm going to tip Galway. I just think there's something in this Galway team to try and get them to the Ireland final. I think Derry are on the stage of an upward curve, but Galway, like some of them players are getting on. You mentioned Paul Conroy, he's in his early 30s now. For him to get to an Ireland final would be brilliant. But I'd be predicting Galway, would be predicting Derry. Should be a very fascinating encounter. And the next game, Dublin against Kerry, it is the historic tie, 3:30 RT2 at Sky Sports Arena. Now, Galway and Derry, I think, has the components to be an exciting game. What I've found out with Dublin and Kerry over the last few weeks, with Mark O'Shea, the Irish Daily Mail, with Dublin saying that Colin Callahan's going to be out, I think this is a game where mind games are going to
big time. Big time, 100%. Like, and look, I suppose Mark O'Shea, the various bits, and Darragh O'Shea going on with Kerry and this, that, and the other. I wouldn't believe a word of it. But apparently, Conor O'Callaghan, that's actually a fracture that he has. So, like, that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting all day today. So, I think the injury seems to be worse than a lot of people think. So, Conor could potentially be out for Saturday. But no, look, big man. Probably blue in the face saying that this game is just going to be unbelievable, and like I suppose this is what we kind of sign up to the GA for, games like this, days like that in Croke Park. So look, the fact it's not sold out yet is probably a talk point in its own. Maybe for the cost of living or the way things are going, my man. Like, I can't believe it's not sold out, but there you go. I think there's lots of tickets left if anyone's fancy trip to Croke on Sunday. But look, it'll be a great game. Really look forward to it. Obviously, look, the talk about it's going into it. Is Clifford going to be fit? Is James McCarthy going to be fit? Is Colin Callaghan going to be fit? It'd be great if all three men were fit. Give us a bit better spectacle. But look, if they aren't, they aren't. But I think Clifford should be good to go come Saturday or Sunday. Sorry, by all accounts. But look, it's an intriguing game. You kind of really do feel at this stage, and obviously you're close to the ground up there. But I think Kerry now has to be the time. Like, don't get me wrong, I know it's an obsession with winning All Ireland's up there. They haven't won once since 2014. The Munster Championships are just really a forgotten identity, really, with Kerry. I think they're really kind of pushing for the big honours. They've got Paddy Tally as defensive coach now, so Jack O'Connor's came back. So I just think it needs to be now, my man. If they can't get over the line against the Dublin team that isn't as strong as it has been, I know Dublin can absolutely win these type of games, but look, Kerry have a lot in their armoury. And it has to be now. If it's not now, I don't know when it will be, my man, because look, 2020, yourselves knocked them out. 2021, Tyrone knocked them out. They lost 2019 All-Ireland final. So something finally has to give. And look, if they don't win Sunday, my man, look, I know you might have a few laughs. Obviously, a huge rivalry there, but no, there's serious problems if they don't get over the line Sunday. Don't be wrong. It's a seriously good Dublin team that's there, but it's a Dublin team that you can absolutely go and beat.
It absolutely is a brilliant opportunity for Kerry, because even as a Cork fan, we played them twice. We played both teams. We played against Kerry, and I just felt the bench was brilliant. That Kerry team, that got them over the line. With Dublin, I was at the game in Croke Park. I didn't think Dublin were that great. I thought their bench was very poor. Owen O'Donnell came on; he's from the hurlers, but I don't think he's that good. And with James McCarthy and Conor O'Callaghan missing, Dublin aren't as strong as they used to be. And when you look at this Kerry team, like, they've only conceded one goal from play combined with the league and the championship. Darren McCurry and Killarney. That's it. That's an amazing stat. Like, Paddy Tally has done an atrocious work with that Kerry team.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely bang on. Like, and I suppose that was always the struggle with Kerry in the last couple of years. Like, obviously the defence, and definitely last year, like we see what kind of happened to them, and look, they shorted it up. They got the right man in place. Paddy Tally's a brilliant defensive coach, and Kerry kind of it's all guns blazing this year for them with getting Jack back, and obviously Paddy coming in as defensive coach. So it's kind of leaving no stones left unturned. So it's a serious stat for McCurry to be the only man to get him hit the onion back against him. It's unbelievable. Not a lot of other counties could say that. So that's something they can use to their advantage. And as well, look, if Con doesn't play, Dean Rock, scored lots of frees against Cork. Obviously, as you would have seen last day, kept him in the game. And bar Rock, you could say Cormac Costello. Is Paddy Small back, Matt? Is he? What's the story with him?
I think he might be. I think he might be, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, is he even back this year though? Has he been in the program?
He's been in the program. Yeah, he actually started against Cork. Yeah, number 15.
Started against.
Yeah.
Right. Did he score? Did he?
He scored 1 point, I think.
1 point. Look, that's not a great return. Like, you know, like they expected to railroad Cork. No offense, Matt. Like, the Dublin railroad anyone in Croke Park, but like I really do feel he should have spread his wings that day. Maybe Dublin didn't want to get out of third or fourth gear. It's hard to know, but look, I think Dublin. I just think take Rock's freeze away. They look like to be pretty ordinary, and like a lot of people have kind of were saying that, you know, the performance against Cork reminded them a lot of the league. So when you take Mr. X Factor Con out, they do look quite ordinary. So I think he needs it's probably as simple as this, and I said to Darren earlier on. Like, I think McCarthy will be pivotal for Dublin this weekend. I know you've Brian Fenton, Kieran Kilkenny as well, but it looks like Kieran Kilkenny needs to work a lot of work out the field as well. But it's probably simple as this, man. If Con doesn't play on Sunday, I think Dublin don't have a whole pile of chance. If he does, Dublin at the top of the pops, they probably could and should get over the line. Obviously, it's probably similar with Kerry and Clifford, but yeah, it's all if buts and maybes at this stage, my man.
He's definitely, and you talk about Con, he scored 213 overall for Dublin, 212.
That's insane, yeah.
Top scorer from playing the championship still. Like, you know, if you take him out of the team, and you even see the league, like I even see the league, they looked lost at times, even besides the Tyrone and Donegal game where they won, like against Armagh, against Mayo and Kerry, they really got hammered and all.
Ran out of it is.
You know, and with the Monaghan game as well, with Dean Rock, other than his freeze of the penalty, they were out of that game completely as well. So take Con and James McCarthy out of this team, and Dublin look very, very ordinary.
And no, you're 100% right, my man. You're 100% right. Like, you see, they did lack a serious amount of leadership, lacked a lot of direction in the league, and you know, it was clearly obvious to see. And like, you bring one man back, he changes the whole thing. But then if he's injured, you know, what's Plan B? Like, and I just don't know. Like, is Paddy Small maybe at the races this year? Is there a bit of an injury concern there? But I'm not sure this year. Can you rely on Cormac Costello to, you know, get you over the line in a big game like this, which will be on Sunday? So you will need your full deck of cards. You know, the likes of Brian Fenton and saying earlier on, Fenton will really need to step up for this game, because I feel nearly since 2020 when Dublin won the All Ireland, he was pretty good this year. That year, 2021, he wasn't overly brilliant, and maybe yet to get out of the trap this year. So, you know, Sunday could be a huge opportunity for him, Fenton, to really kind of, you know, put a stamp down. And look, as well, it's a huge game for Dublin. The backlash after getting bet by Mayo, Dublin look, you know, focused this year. They look like they're playing for Farrell. It could right a lot of wrongs from last year. So it's a huge opportunity for a lot of big name players. Look, we kind of, Kieran Kilkenny, probably one of the best players of our generation, you know, being on the bounce spot 12 or 13. He's been brilliant. He will need to have a huge game on Sunday. Like, let's not shy away from it. Will he be close to the goal? Will they need to play him close to the goal? Will he be in around the half forward line? So, yeah, like you need about 20 eyes in this game, man. You need about 10 TVs watching this one.
That's the thing, yeah. And I know Kerry are going in as favourites, and deservedly so, but what's playing at the back of their mind, actually, they haven't knocked Dublin out of the championship since 2009. Like since then, Cork, Mayo, and Donegal have all knocked Dublin out of the championship. I don't know, it's a small thing with Kerry, but do you think they'll play something at the back of their minds that they have to beat this Dublin team?
Yeah. It's hard to know, man. Like, I think it's probably just been so realistic. Like, and I was in amongst Kerry fans after the defeat against Tyrone in the All-Ireland semi-final last year, and it was just nearly like an unhealthy atmosphere to be around, because they were so devastated and gutted and disaster. We didn't get to the All-Ireland final this year, and just heartbreak. So I don't even know if it's a case of that. I honestly just think it's a case of winning Sam, and they really don't care who to beat. But look, there is 100% that thing since 2009. You know, we've seen the Gooch Masterclass that day, and Kerry were absolutely sensational. But look, there is 100% that thing that will be playing. But I honestly do think it just comes back to the point of climbing up the steps of the Hogan stand and lifting that trophy, my man. I don't care. They could be playing. They could be playing absolutely anyone on Sunday as long as they get their hands back in that trophy. But yeah, it's like anything else. That video has been rehashed 2009. That's, you know, it's not today or yesterday, man. Last time Kerry bet Dublin in the championship, so long time ago. It just goes to show Dublin's dominance as well. And I know Kerry nearly bet them in 2011 and 13, but nearly is not good enough, my man. So Sunday's a huge opportunity for both teams.
Definitely so. And you look at Kerry scores, like David Clifford's only scored 1-1 from play in the championship. Like, that's pretty poor, but let's not forget he did play against Limerick. Sean O'Shea's been super. Paul Gainey, I think, is a guy going under the radar. He scored 8 points from play, pretty good from him. Killian Spillane, who might not even start on Sunday, has got 1-4. And that's the point with Kerry. They have these players to come on. Killian Spillane, Tony Brosnan, Micheál Burns, Joe O'Connor. The list it's unbelievable. And when you look at Dublin's bench, only Owen O'Donnell, who was there with the hurlers, Aaron Byrne possibly as well, but he's still young. That bench for Kerry could prove vital.
You see, that's it, and that's probably when you flip the coin. You see, Dublin were just absolutely blessed with talent off the bench. You can remind you, like Paddy Andrews used to come on, even Jeremy Connolly, the likes of Paul Finn, Kevin McMahon. Kevin made the time he broke Kerry's hearts in years gone by. So, look, I think that's when you flip the coin. Kerry have an array of talent to come on. So, look, when the game probably will be in the Medley pot, I think Kerry definitely will have, the talent, to bring on to get them over the line, which I can see it probably coming to that stage if it does have to come to it. And maybe Dublin might be well in the game at that stage. So yeah, definitely flips the coin. And geez, it's mad to think the over-returning players Dublin have had, the personnel that have lost in the last couple of years, and you can nearly make a case for a lot of lads that did leave. They could have done maybe another year or two. Your Jeremy Connolly, your Paddy Andrews, your who else packed? Well, Michael Darragh maybe was a bit over the hill, I suppose, and a couple of other lads maybe that did leave. Maybe Paul Finn definitely could have stuck about, but obviously game time wasn't plentiful. So look, a lot of personnel left, and there is a serious rebuilding job for Dublin GA in the next couple of years, without a doubt. But there's just something telling me within Croke Park, Kerry, massive game once again, haven't been tested this year yet. It's another F up coming, man.
Definitely so. And again, before we get into the prediction, I just wanted to get your thoughts on the Mark O'Shea comments. Like, I bought the Irish Daily Mail on Sunday, and he said a few weeks ago that Kerry were the third best team in Ireland behind Dublin and Derry. And he said that Kerry were the least impressive out of the winning quarter-finalists. I know they were playing...
That drives me nuts, Matt. Like, that's, Thank God, that's why I don't buy papers.
You're better off, my man.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, like, I don't know, is it just Kerry just talking up?
Absolute nonsense. You're close to the ground there. Like, you see what Kerry people's like. They'd probably just absolutely drive you nuts. No, that's just nonsense. It's pure and utter nonsense. And maybe he has a point the way the Kerry Mayo game was going. Kerry didn't have to get out of third or fourth gear and weren't overly impressive, but like, I think maybe if you're basing it on league form and maybe much championship form, Kerry are definitely right up there, and maybe Derry's probably up there too. And look, Dublin haven't been overly brilliant this year as a whole, so maybe he does have a point to a degree, but it is very much like, rate the chances down, because obviously Mark O'Shea, probably one of the best footballers ever played a game. Let's everyone buy into my comments and X, Y, and Z. Paper doesn't refuse to eat, my man. That's another important point of this too. Like, but no, it's a load of nonsense. And like, I was even watching Darren Sullivan on the GA Hour this week, and sure, it's where he was still involved with the setup to just give nothing away. What camp does, and I suppose even on a side note as well, my man, like it does kill you, like in a meet, especially when you're doing podcasts and listening to things. Like there's not much coming from the Kerry camp, of course, not coming from the Dublin camp, but I'd love for a situation to arise where we could know if Conor Call's going to be fit for the weekend, know if David Clifford's going to be fit, James McCarthy, know about these things, because look, like, we're paying big money to go to these games. Like, we're paying TV license fees, we're doing X, Y, and Z. Like, let us know what the crack is, because look, it's not like it's going to be the complete other end of the world. It's the GAA. It's not a professional organisation. So if you know where I'm coming from.
Exactly. The mind games, I think
it'll drive you nuts.
It does, definitely. It's absolutely ludicrous. And the comparison between the two games, Derry and Galway, all guns blazing for that game. And there's so much mind games going into this game. But I'd be predicting a Kerry win anyway. I think Kerry will be all set for the All-Ireland. You'll be predicting Kerry as well, I suppose.
Oh, God, we're not going to agree at any predictions tonight, my man. God, but look, don't get me wrong. I can fully understand where you're coming from there, but I just don't know. I think, look, if miraculous, but it sounds so far, it seems like Conor Callan, it seems to be a bit of a miraculous thing for him to be playing Sunday. If he plays, I think Dublin will win. But then Kerry's bench, as you rightly said a couple of minutes ago, could definitely get over the line. But I just feel there's another effort coming from Kerry, maybe much to your delight here, and that is a Cork man. And I think Dublin might just sneak, my man, but it's going to be a great game. Fingers crossed.
Jeez, it's so unusual. We disagreed on everything.
Disagreed on, yeah. A Cork man and a Cavan man.
Yeah.
Like we should have known. I think with last time we played was
2010 was it in the championship?
Oh, championship. We played just in the league in 18.
Yeah, a few years
You'd probably
ago.
better say imagine, didn't you? You probably did. You'd be the man to answer that.
I think Cavan actually won.
We bet you in Cork, did we?
Yeah.
God, I can't even remember. It was in Cork. I definitely wouldn't. I was at that 2010 game, and oh my God, man, 4 or 5 hours to get up there, and just went left with our tails between our legs. I think Daniel Goulden and the boys put on a master show. So yeah, there shouldn't be a rivalry there, though, my man. 3 out of 3, huh?
Exactly. Oh, geez. I actually remember Park Keeve. Actually, we're going way off topic now, but John McMahon, he was absolutely superb in Park Keeve.
Oh, he's a brilliant footballer. And yeah, on a side note, I think he's back from his travels apparently in a month's time, a couple of weeks' time. So he'll be a huge addition to his club, Curselaw, here in Cavan, and Curselaw will be having a big push to win the championship this year. So and the one thing for McPheedy now is, though, don't get me wrong, travelling, living the life of Riley, going out doing what you want, but I suppose he has missed an Ulster championship with Cavan. He missed a county championship with his club, so he might get a county championship with his club. But I don't know, will he be getting an Ulster with Cavan anytime soon? We'll have to see.
We'll have to see. All right. Hopefully, Cavan will get an Ulster, and hopefully Cork will get a Munster next year. That'd be absolutely brilliant.
Oh my God, yeah. It'd be great to play Cork again. Jeez, I have a nice wee Cork connection now. Yourself and Mr. Gould and some of the boys, absolute gentlemen. So be great to play you soon again.
Exactly. There's a load of very good past players. Tony Davis as well on the Sunday game. He used to have
Davis,
used to have rivalry with Joe Brawley. Remember that in the Sunday game?
Oh, big time. Well, in fairness, who hasn't had a rivalry with that man? God, he's he's lost his position from Artie due to all that. So, oh my God. And in fairness, just on a side note as well, like, it's such a pity we can't and haven't seen Mr. Brawley. I know he's been on chat shows and bits and pieces, but no work from even Sky, BBC, or nothing. And obviously, RTE got rid of him, and RG is gone as well. So he's been a big miss, man. And Mr. Brawley, if you're watching, I hope you're counting all your paychecks, no doubt you're still doing well for yourself, I imagine.
Absolutely, we'd love to see him back. I'd love to see a load of other analysts back, definitely.
Yeah.
And I suppose before we end the podcast, anything you want to add, your own podcast, John, like the JMac Podcast, a load of subscribers on YouTube at the moment, and going very well. A lot of very good guests on your podcast.
Cheers, man. Yeah, look, it's like anything else, man. I could talk football till the cows come home. I absolutely love it. We're very busy at the minute, much like yourself. Just reviewing games. I record it every Monday night, and it'd normally be up on a Tuesday or Wednesday, all going well. It's just on YouTube there, and with plans to go on Spotify and Google Apps soon enough. So really enjoying it. You have the likes of Matty Ford and Daniel Coolin and Big Paul Harity and Aaron from G and Fan TV, and I'd love to get you on the show very, very soon as well, my man. And all your stats you do on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook are just unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. So you're credit to yourself. And so like, if you want to check me out, get me on Twitter at the JMac Podcast, and YouTube the JMac Podcast. And I'd love to hear from you and see you. And thanks a million for having me on the show, my man.
No bother at all, and thanks for coming on, John. And hopefully Cavan will put up a very good performance in Croke Park to win the inaugural Tailteann Cup. Would that be superb for Cavan? And thanks for coming on to the podcast today.
No worries, man. On the boys in blue.